Shelby here. Welcome back to my channel. Glad you are with me today. Before we get into today's video, I'm doing this little intro thing for this vlog that I'm doing. Please make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. If you like my content, I really appreciate it. And of course, pretty much like in all of my videos nowadays, you will be hearing baby and child noises. But since this is a vlog, I felt like it's kind of fitting, and I'm just kind of like, whatever. So anyway, so this vlog that I'm doing, I am wanting to read some like really popular romances. So I thought it'd be fun to do it like in a vlog format so that I can just kind of like, as I'm reading it, kind of talk about like my thoughts on these books. Mostly because I've been wanting to try these out because I've heard so much hype about all of these books. So I'm wanting to see, like, do these books live up to the hype? Are they as good as everybody is saying they are? So my plan is I'm hoping to try to read several of these books within like a week time span. So today is Saturday. This is like going on like the last week of August. So the way I am categorizing and how I picked the romances that I'm going to read, so most of the time, like my TBR that I have, I keep on my Amazon wish list because that's where most of the books that I read come from are going to be on Amazon. Since I use Kindle Unlimited, it's just an easy way to keep track. Whereas like if I put things on Goodreads, I completely forget to check on there the books that I want to read on there. So I am picking these books, the popular books. They have to have over 10,000 reviews, star ratings, reviews on Amazon for these books. Now, if you go to Goodreads, I know most of these books are going to have so much more reviews and ratings than on Amazon, but that's primarily where I go to when I am finding books and checking out books. I go to Amazon. It's just the easiest way for me to do that. So that being said, the books that I am wanting to try to read for this, and like I said, my goal is to get 5. If I manage to get more or not, we'll kind of see how that goes. So number 1 being Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. I've heard lots of good things about this book this year. Not 100% sure what this is about. I think it's like a brother's best friend romance, and I think he's a football player. This might be in college. This is on Kindle Unlimited, and I already started that this morning, but I'm only like 15 pages in. Honestly, so far I'm kind of bored, but it is just the intro for it. So I'm hoping things will kind of pick up a little bit more after I figure out kind of what's going on. Although I am also kind of disappointed because I was looking at these and I'm pretty sure like all of these romances are really long. So this one in particular is 600 pages. So hopefully I can do 5. Another book is going to be The Words by Ashley Jade or A. Jade. Again, I just keep hearing nothing but good things about this one. And I'm pretty sure this one is a longer romance as well, but I think I'm going to try to do this one on audio because I've heard it's pretty good on audio, maybe. And I believe this is a rock star romance. And I don't really know too much more about that one. I just keep hearing about it. Then I want to try to pick up The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, mostly because I keep seeing these like special edition covers that I think look really cool. I literally know nothing about any of Lauren Asher's books. I just see her special edition covers and everybody has them and they look really pretty. So that's basically why I want to read that one. But it also does have over 10,000 reviews, so it is very popular. Then I want to try to do The Never King by Nikki St. Crow. And this one I do have on Scribd, which is an audiobook subscription app like service that I do. So that one is available on there. So I'm definitely going to do the audiobook for that one. And that one I know, I believe it's a reverse harem, maybe. I could be wrong on that part, but I know it's like kind of like a Peter Pan retelling, and I've heard it's kind of dark, and it's really sexy, and I've just heard really good things about it. So there's that one. And then of course Flock by Kate Stewart. This is one that I have been going back and forth on whether I want to read this because it is so hyped up. And I know there's like a love triangle thing in this series, and I know people like die for it, and they say it's such a heartbreaking book series. But then I've also heard from some people just like the types of books that I read that I might be underwhelmed by it. But then I also have a friend that we talk to each other a lot about the books that we like, and we have fairly similar tastes in books, and she absolutely loved this series. So I don't know. So I was like, you know what? I just need to try it out, see if I like it, see what happens with it. So yeah, so that one I'm pretty sure is on KU, and it's also, I could also do it on audiobook. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to pick a lot of audiobook options just because then, you know, even though today is Saturday, it is the weekend, I think I'll be able to get the most amount of reading done when I go back to work, especially by listening to books on audio. So I've heard that one's pretty good on audio as well. So those are like the 5 that I really want to try to get to. I have lists. I wrote like a big long list out. There's a lot of other ones that I could do. But I may try to do, like, if this goes pretty well and you all like this, I may do like another version of this, but more like popular fantasy romances, because there's like the Beauty and the Beast retelling by K.F. Breen. There's The Bridge Kingdom, which is very popular and I'm pretty sure is fantasy. Zodiac Academy, Guild, all of those books are very, very popular fantasy romances that I have not read. And they meet my criterion that I created of over 10,000 reviews. Oh, and then also Colleen Hoover. Colleen Hoover has the most amount of reviews, but I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to like her because I don't know if I would necessarily categorize her books as romance. I've heard they're more women's fiction with some romance. So I don't know that I will like them. I will probably try her books out at some point, but that's just not going to be today. Or like Blindsided is a big one, from Lukov with Love, which is a Mariana Zapata book. I know that one's on Scribd, so I could listen to that one too. That one's also very popular. So there's lots of books to choose from, but those first 5 main ones are the ones that are like my goals to try to get through and to try to read. And if I happen to be able to fit some more in within a week's time, then cool. More books. So like I said, I did start Say Used to Wear, only a few pages into that one, and I am going to be going to and helping out my ex's family today, and I think we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff like outside, so I might be able to listen to a little bit of an audiobook. So I think I'm gonna try to start The Words on audio and see where that goes, because I know that's going to be a pretty long audiobook as well. And yeah, we'll just see how this week goes and how these books end up turning out. Go down the side. Woo! Hey everyone, in here for a quick update. It is Sunday now and it's almost 8 a.m. So I'm trying to get things together to take my kids to the park this morning so they can play outside, and before it like gets too hot today. Yesterday was just a crazy busy day. I went to my ex's parents' house and was helping them with things. My daughter played outside there and had a ton of fun. I know, I don't need that. Thank you. She's grabbing my filming equipment. She's used to me filming, so she knows what I need for all my filming stuff. So anyway, I'm not super far into either of the books that I started. So I did start The Words by Ashley Jade on audiobook, and I pretty much only listened to that to their house and then back home, so not a ton. But it starts out like in high school. This girl is to has to tutor this guy who I think is going to end up being a rock star because that's what he wants, but he wants to get his high school diploma first before they go off trying to find like record deals and whatnot. But he is struggling I think it's like in English, so she's tutoring him and finds out that he has dyslexia, so she's trying to help him with that. And yeah, that's kind of all I've gotten so far with that one. I keep seeing like things online where people like reading it and they've like cried, so we'll see. And then the other one, Make You Swear, the Megan Brandy book. I started that. So that one I've actually read a little bit more. I'm over 100 pages into it, but like I said, this is like a 600-page book. So not even like 25% of the way through it. And I don't know how I feel. I've heard this ends up being kind of a love triangle, and I can already kind of see that. So it's this girl and her twin brother and her best friend and his two best friends. Their parents like gifted them a beach house, which I'm like, okay. So they're going to this beach house for the summer just to like hang out and party and do whatever before they all go to college, which they're all going to the same college. But the girl has had a crush on one of her brother's best friends for a long time, and she decides to kind of like make a move on him, but he kind of like at first is like, no, I don't have those feelings for you, but then at the same time he kind of starts to have those feelings for her, but he wants to like back off because he doesn't want to mess up his friendship because she's like off limits because she is his best friend's sister. And then there's this other guy that shows up that ends up being, because they all play football, the team captain, and I think she's gonna maybe end up getting a relationship with him when they end up going to college. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one. Our characters are very naive, which makes sense because they've all just turned 18, so they are very young. And I just kind of I feel like I'm at a place where I just get really bored with that type of like storyline with 18-year-olds, unless there's like another character that's older that they're interacting with. I don't know. It's just, I just keep rolling my eyes at some of the things that they're doing. And then I'm kind of getting irritated with this author's writing already, because like each chapter, it's kind of like, it just feels so unnecessary. All of the extra stuff that she's putting into this. It's like, okay, and then this day we did this, and then this day we did this. And I'm just like, I don't need to know about every single day, like what you all are doing, like partying wise. Oh, and then there's another thing with like a whole ton of like side characters that like somebody like died that they had already been there earlier this summer and something blah blah blah, and now this chick is pregnant, and I'm just like, I really don't care, and I don't know why this is in here unless these side characters become a bigger part of the plot later on, that I'm just like, that they'll become more important. Otherwise, right now, I just don't see the point of them being in this book. So my thoughts so far on this book is that there's a lot of things that I feel like are very unnecessary and do not need to be in this. And I feel like I'm already going to, in my review, say that this book could have been a lot shorter than it is. And I feel like that's my problem with a lot of longer books, is I feel like authors put way too much stuff in it that could have been taken out, and it's unnecessary. It's very rare that I read a very long book that I feel like every component that was in the book is necessary to the overall storyline. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna take my kids to the park. I may try to, while I'm there, listen to the words on audio. And then I don't know what the plan is for the rest of the day, because I don't want to be there all afternoon at the park. I want to do that this morning, like I said, before it gets too hot. So when I have more updates, I will be back on here. Hi everyone, thought I would come on here and do a quick update. It is now Monday morning. Sorry I didn't really update yesterday. We did end up going to the park and I just completely forgot to film that. Yeah, and then we just kind of hung out around the house. I didn't get too much further in the Megan Branding book. I am now like 25% through, but it's just very slow going. She ended up like having sex with the guy that she liked, and then he kind of brushed her off because he's afraid of admitting things, and her brother finding out. And so now they're at college and she's just kind of like moping around, and then there's this other guy that shows up that I think is the other part of this like love triangle thing that's gonna end up happening, and he's trying to like make her feel better and, you know, things like that. But I don't know, I'm just not really feeling this book. It's kind of boring, and I have a feeling that I'm not going to like it because I feel like I'm going to like Noah, this other character that is trying to like make her feel better. I think I'm gonna end up liking him a lot more than this crush, this like high school crush kind of thing that she has. But I think she's gonna screw up and go back to that guy, and I think that's who's gonna end up being her love interest at the end of this, and I think it's going to take me off. But I'm so much further into the words, and I'm hoping I can finish it today while I'm at work. I listened to a good portion of it yesterday and I'm really loving it, because, and I don't really remember what I had said it was about, but like, yeah, it started out with this like girl, and she's tutoring this like kind of bad boy, and he's got dyslexia in school, and then he's a musician and wants to leave, so then he does leave, but he takes one of these songs that she had written and says it's his song, and it makes him like super duper famous. So now it's like years later, and he like is like on drugs and gets drunk and high all the time, and one of his band members ended up dying because he also did all this stuff. So they're trying to hire somebody to be his like sober companion to try to keep him sober so that he's not like doing all these different kinds of drugs and whatnot. So they hire her because everybody that they tend to hire ends up giving in to him and sleeping with him. But they're like, oh, hey, she hates him. She'll be perfect to be his sober companion. So she does that because she needs money because her father was diagnosed with early onset dementia, and she had to pay all the bills and hire a 24-hour like caregiver person. So she's kind of stressed out about all of that, but I'm really enjoying it. I love the like back and forth banter and animosity between these two characters, but then their sexual tension is also through the roof, and it's fabulous. But he still hasn't like apologized to her for taking her song or made any kind of amends for that. So she's still like, no, I'm not going to be with you. I'm not going to give in to you because that's not cool. And I don't want you to like walk all over me. And I'm like, good for you, girl. But yeah, so I don't know if this is actually like so far, because I still have like, I think like 4 hours at least of this audiobook. So there's still a lot to get through. But so far this doesn't really seem like a 5-star for me right now. I would probably rate it like 4 stars. It is still really good and I am enjoying it, but it's just kind of meh. And then the Megan Brandy one, I really have no idea. I'm kind of like around like 2 or 3 stars at the moment with that one. It's just kind of meh. I really want to DNF it, but I feel like I should try to push through it and get a little bit further in, and maybe it'll pick up and I'll like start enjoying it more, but so far it's just kind of meh. So yeah, I will update you again whenever I have read more. Hey everyone, I'm here with another update, and hopefully you all can hear me and not the TV. Because my daughter and I are currently watching Tangled, and we just finished kind of eating a dinner. I don't know, I didn't really feel like cooking, so we just had some hummus with carrots and pita chips, and we're calling it good, and I might snack on some like fruit or something, which then my toddler just wanted to eat the hummus with a spoon out of a bowl, but you know, whatever. I'm just kind of like, well, at least she's eating something, and at least it's not like a bowl full of ketchup that she's wanting to eat, so I call it a win. But I needed to update before I forget. So it's Tuesday afternoon, home from work and all that jazz. I have tomorrow off, so hopefully get some good reading in and maybe some good like footage. Hopefully we'll do something. Maybe I'll take my kids to the park. I don't really know yet. I don't really know how the weather is going to be tomorrow, but I have tomorrow off because I have to work this coming weekend. But I figured I should be able to get a good amount of reading done. But anyway, I wanted to update before I forget everything because I did finish The Words, and it was really good. I can see why this book is really hyped up, and I can definitely understand why people have hyped this book up. I can understand why people have given it 5 stars. I personally am only going to give it 4 stars. This is a much longer book, and I mean, I did listen to this on audio, so this may have like helped with the length a little bit, but I feel like for the most part, the length of this book was pretty necessary. I didn't really feel like there were too many like side characters or storylines or extra like stuff in there that shouldn't have been in there. Like maybe some things here or there, but for the most part, everything that the author put into this book had a purpose with moving our characters forward. So our character, she is now with this guy that kind of snubbed her, on the road with him, trying to be his sober companion so that he doesn't get in trouble, but he is like obviously in love with her, but she doesn't know that, and he doesn't really know how to show that and express that to her. So that's part of why I'm only giving it 4 stars, mostly because, excuse you, I'm only giving it 4 stars mostly because the main guy character, Phoenix, annoyed the crap out of me. I just kept getting so irritated with him because his like mostly because his like journey, like his groveling journey and asking for forgiveness from her because he does like a crappy thing to her, it took way longer than it should have. Like he had multiple opportunities to make amends to her, to apologize to her, and he just like never did until like way later on in the book. So that really irritated me, but I did really like his character growth that we saw throughout the book. There are trigger warnings in this book. So the female main character, her father has early onset dementia, so there is trigger warnings for you know, family member with like a chronic illness. There's also trigger warnings for death of a family member. So a character has to deal with a lot of grief, but it was really a good story. It just, for me, isn't going to be a top tier 5-star book, but it gets 4 stars because it was still really enjoyable. Then with Say You Swear by Megan Brandy, I'm still working my way through that one. I am now like 250 pages out of 600. It's been a slow progress, but I'm still trying to make my way through. I still kind of want to DNF it, but I want to try to push my way through it just to see if I can figure out what the hype is about. My biggest issue with this is, number one, there seems to be really no purpose to this story. I have no idea where this story is supposed to go. I don't really understand the plot that we have going on. It's basically just this girl, and she went her like group of friends, and she starts college, and she likes her brother's best friend, but then there's also this other guy that's on their football team that she likes now. And it's just, and don't really care for that age group either, because they're so like dumb and stupid and young, and it's just really irritating. But we're getting a little bit more information with Noah, who is this other character that she meets at college, and she's starting to hang out with him more, and they're like becoming good friends, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna like have a relationship, I'm pretty sure, because they like just finally kissed, and he's just such a sweetheart. Like, he's the best, like, sweetest male character like ever. He takes care of his mom because she like had a stroke, and she like raised him on her own, single mom, and he's just wonderful. Although being in a medical field, just the way they describe like her stroke symptoms and how she's in this like rehab something or other doesn't make a ton of sense to me. It's kind of irritating, but it's a minor thing. But like I said, he is just the sweetest, and since there's so much to this book, I'm so worried that something bad is going to happen with him, or like, I've heard this is a love triangle, so if the female main character ends up choosing the other guy instead of him, I'm gonna be so royally ticked off, like, you don't even understand. Like, he's just amazing. So maybe that's why people really love this book, is because of him, because he's a great character. I don't know, but otherwise, like, the writing overall, there's a ton of stuff in here that just does not seem necessary. A lot of stuff I feel like could be cut out, and this book could be shortened, but you know. Then last thing I needed to update you all with is I started, since I finished The Words, I wanted to start another audiobook. So I started, is it The Never King, I believe, by Nikki St. Crow on audio, and this one is like a really short audiobook. I feel like I'll be able to finish it. I think I only have an hour left. I just know that it's about Winnie Darling, and all the like the female members of her line, all the darlings, always get kidnapped at a certain age, and her mom like went mad, and so she just thinks her mom's crazy. But then she gets kidnapped by Pan, and there's the Lost Boys, and it's just all very mysterious right now. There's like a guy, one of the Lost Boys, that can like make her feel fear, just by like either looking at her or being in the same room as her. So it's very mysterious. I don't know exactly what's going on. I don't know if like they just say that they need her, and hopefully with her, hopefully she's the one. Hopefully she'll change things. Hopefully she's the one. So I don't know if like Pan has like a curse on him. And they kind of, it sounds like magic and stuff. It's like draining from the island that they're at. I don't know. I'm very curious about it. And it's been really good so far. The only thing that I've just me like pet peeving things is that the author basically always uses the word like when they're like talking. She doesn't vary her wording choice for he said or she said, she said, like, which that is a little bit annoying to me, but that's just like a very, very minor pet peeve thing. Otherwise, overall, so far, it's been really good. I just don't really understand like where this is gonna go, because it's such a short book, and I did not realize that it was such a short book. So but yeah, for the rest of the night, I'm probably gonna keep reading more on Say You Swear. I don't know that I'll get any more in the audiobook. I'm gonna check like the weather and stuff, and I might take my kiddos in the morning to like the park or something to play, and then I might be able to get more of the audiobook in, and hopefully a lot more of Say You Swear. Hey y'all, so it's Wednesday morning and decided to take my kids to the park, and I'm actually able to like film and kind of talk to y'all because there's literally nobody here, which is kind of nice. Which is kind of expected because school has already started in my area, so being at like 8 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, yeah, there's nobody here, but the weather's really nice. Like, it's only like high 70s, low 80s, so I thought it'd be great to do some park time. So I've got my earbuds in, listening to The Never King, which frankly, like, I'm intrigued by it and kind of confused by what's going on, and I honestly don't really understand why it has such big hype. And I've also heard that it's really dark, but I haven't really come across that yet, so I don't know, but I'm gonna keep listening. I only have like an hour left, so I might be able to get all of it done while we're here at the park. Depends on how long she wants to play and before she gets tired or hungry and wants a snack, because I did not bring snacks with me. But yeah, so I'm just gonna keep sitting here listening to my audiobook. All right, y'all, so I needed to come back on here and update. Just got out of the shower and both of my kiddos are laying down for naps, and hopefully they don't wake up while I'm trying to talk to y'all guys. But I am now like 72, 73% through Say You Swear, and I want to throw my phone across the room. Like, I am so pissed off right now, like, it's not even funny. I need to sit up for this. This whole last little bit is so like drama filled, and I'm just like very angry, and I can like kind of see why people like this and think it's like so emotional, but this just feels very unnecessary. And I am debating really hard on if I'm just gonna DNF this book, because yes, it just seems very pointless, and like I said, unnecessary, this emotion that has been brought into this. From the get-go, this book has felt very pointless to me. Didn't really seem like it had an overall like story arc, like plot-wise. It was just kind of like, here, let's kind of like do this. And, you know, she was in love with her best friend's brother, and then she's trying to like kind of get over it, and she's falling for Noah, who is an absolute sweetheart. And then they're still bringing drama into this because, and this is probably gonna get pretty spoilery, so if you're not interested in like spoilers, you may just want to like skip over this whole rant thing that I'm gonna go into. But anyway, so then they bring all this like strife or whatever into their relationship, because then Chase, who is the best friend's brother, comes in and is like, hey, actually I have feelings for you still, and I want you to choose me instead of Noah. And she's like, no, I'm with Noah now, and I don't like you anymore, like, I'm not in love with you, that's like, we're done. But he's like, and she's like, and you only want us to be together behind closed doors anyway. And then he's like, well, I'll kiss you right now, I don't really care, I'll tell your brother, blah blah blah. And then they walk in, and then she's like, they're both upset because Noah's like, hey, I need you to go and like figure your shit out. Do you want to be with me or do you want to be with Chase? Like, because if you want to be with Chase, if you have any kind of doubt that you don't want to be with me, then you need to just stop this relationship right now. So they're both in like turmoil and agony over this. And then she finally is deciding, hey, I want to be with you, Noah, because I love you. And then she gets freaking hit by a car And they're in the hospital, and of course she wakes up and she has no clue who Noah is, and she thinks she's still in love with Chase. And I still have like, I don't know, like 200 pages left of this book. So I'm like, so we're just I'm like so mad that this whole like amnesia thing has been brought into this. It's completely unnecessary and brings so much more drama into the story that doesn't need to be there. It would have been just a beautiful story. Granted, the whole like issues that I have with like no idea where, like, why this book is even written kind of thing and where we're going with this. But if it had just kind of been a, hey, she's just trying to get over like her first love kind of thing, and then unexpectedly this Noah character comes in, like, that would have been cute and a beautiful story. But now we've got this like amnesia bull crap, and I just don't understand the point. And like I said, I'm pissed off because Noah's a really great character, and I don't really understand why this author is doing this to this character, because now he's like super duper upset about this. And then there's also this like other thing that happens that he's like grieving over because of the accident. And it's just I'm so mad right now. And I just feel like I'm over 400 pages into this book. This book is so long. And that's kind of why I'm like going back and forth on if I want to DNF this book or not, because I've spent so much effort and time into this book just to DNF it so far in. But then at the same time, like, if I do continue reading it, and if I don't really like the ending anyway, it'll be an even bigger waste of my time because I still have 200 pages left to do. I just don't know what to do. Like, is this really worth my time? No matter what, even if I DNF it now, it's gonna get like a 1 star because this is bullshit. Sorry to say that. I don't know. I don't even know. Like, I'm hoping, I feel like they're gonna end up getting together. I just feel like the whole rest of this book is gonna be so predictable, and just so much angst is gonna be in it, because the chick, she's gonna be like super into Chase, and then she's gonna have to like relearn and be reintroduced, I guess, to Noah, and re-find her love that she had for Noah. So that's basically probably what the rest of this book is going to end up being, I'm hoping. But at the same time, since I can, like, it seems pretty predictable, I don't know what to do. I'm so torn. I might just kind of like step away from this for like an hour or two and think on it and see how I feel. And maybe that might kind of help my decision on if I'm going to continue or not. Otherwise, I don't know, I might start something else, because then I did also finish The Never King earlier. Did I update on that? I don't know if I updated on that. I don't think I updated on that. So I did also finish The Never King earlier today, while we were at the park, because we had some fun there, and I was able to listen to it audio, and it was super duper quick. Really short audiobook. It seems like I guess it's more of like a novella length kind of novel. It was pretty good, but it was just kind of an storyline. I don't really understand why it's super hyped. It didn't really impress me. It was kind of confusing, so that's why I kind of wanted to keep reading, because I wanted to figure out what was going on. It wasn't as taboo and as sexy as I was led to believe. She does end up having sex with some of them, but it was just kind of like, I don't know, I wasn't like shocked by it. And I've also heard this is pretty dark too, and I didn't really get that, like, at all. Like, I think they like kind of killed some people, but it was just more like off screen or like off page kind of stuff. It just, I don't know, I was not impressed, but at the same time, like, I think I will end up reading the next book, because the next book is also an audio, and it kind of leaves like a kind of cliffhanger at the end. So I am still like intrigued enough just to continue on, but I'm definitely not impressed by it, and I don't necessarily think it deserves all the hype that it gets. I'm giving this 3 stars. It was just kind of meh. But yeah, so I'll probably come back on later on and either update you with the end of Say You Swear, or that I DNF'd it, because right now I'm still very much on the fence. Like, I really want to DNF this book so bad. And anyway, so I'll probably move on to, I think I'm gonna try Flock on, I think it's Flock, whatever that trilogy, the Kate Stewart trilogy, whatever the first book is of that, because I've heard really good things about that. Like, everybody loves that series. I think I'm gonna start that on audio, and then if I DNF Say You Swear, I'll probably pick something else up on Kindle, but I don't know yet what I'm gonna do. Maybe the fine print. Yeah, so hey y'all, I'm gonna try to update you, but I also have my toddler in my lap right now because she likes coming into my room and grabbing historical romances off of my bookshelf because she likes looking at the pictures, and it's the cutest thing because I also have the baby sitting on my bed too, and she, like, my toddler, like, grabbed the book and, like, sat right in front of her and was, like, opening them up and, like, started talking to her. Like, it's the cutest thing ever. Anyway, so it is Thursday afternoon. It's Thursday afternoon. Just got home with both my kids after work. And I'm gonna try to update. Well, it may be better if I got a box. So we'll do that first because I think that might kind of occupy my toddler a little bit. But I got I'm pretty sure this is the trope box from Hello Lovely that I get monthly. So I'm gonna open that up real quick. And the book is Cruel Devil by Daniela Romero. I've literally never heard of this book, but this is a really cool cover. The only thing that I wish with this Trope of the Month box is I really wish that they would put something in the box talking about which trope that month is, because I never remember what the trope is that I'm getting. So I have no clue what trope this book fits, but I have it. So, and it looks really cool. So updates. Last thing I updated you all was on the Say You Swear book that I was ticked off and I wasn't sure if I was going to finish it. So yes, I did push through, but the last little bit, I basically just kind of skimmed it because at the point that I got to where I just really wanted to, like, rage quit this book, I still wanted to figure out what happened. There was a lot of stuff that I still didn't really care for because Noah was kind of like pushing her towards the other guy, even though he hated it, and I'm just like, why? It was just so frustrating. But it does end in an HEA, which, I mean, that's cool, I guess. I think this would have been a really nice love story. I ended up giving this 2 stars, and the only reason I did not give it a 1 star is because I really, really liked Noah as a character. He is such a, like, book boyfriend type of character. He was so sweet and caring and loving towards his mom and towards her, and he was just fabulous. The rest of the book sucked. Like, it was horrible. I am definitely in the minority on this because I was looking at other ratings for this, and this has like over 4 stars, like, average rating on Goodreads. So it has really good ratings, and the vast majority of people love this book. Like 4 stars, 5 stars, at the very least 3 stars. I am definitely in the minority of not liking this book. I just do not like all the extra dramatics that were added in. I think they were completely unnecessary. I think the writing was kind of crappy, and I just really did not enjoy this book. So that being said, then I started 2 new books today. So I started The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, I think is what it is. I don't know. I have an actual physical copy of it somewhere, but I just it's on KU, so I was reading that. I'm only about a chapter into this. Maybe the 2nd chapter, not too far in. All I know, and I didn't know what this book was about before I went into it. I just know it's very popular and people like it. I'm getting the sense that this is definitely going to be like a workplace romance, and this is definitely going to be like a grumpy sunshine romance. I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said, I'm only a couple chapters in, but it's about this guy who his grandfather died, and his grandfather is basically kind of like Walt Disney, and he is tasking this guy and like giving in the will, him and his 3 brothers have to do these certain things to be able to like inherit whatever. So anyway, so he is tasked with running Dreamland, which is basically like Disney World, and like fixing it or something, like bringing some sort of innovation. I don't know. But he's super duper grumpy, and he's coming in, and there's like this girl that he's going to this meeting at where they're going to introduce him and about all the changes that are going to be happening, and she's there, and she comes in late, and he doesn't care for that, and he just kind of rubs her the wrong way, but he's also very attracted to her. And he threatens to fire her because she calls him an asshole, because he is being an asshole. So like I said, not too far into it, but so far, like, it seems pretty good. I think I'm going to enjoy it unless something, like, majorly happens that makes me, like, really not like it. So I'll probably read more of that tonight and maybe hopefully finish it tomorrow or on Saturday. And then I did also start Flock. Flock is the first book of the Ravenhood Trilogy by Kate Stewart, maybe. I don't remember the author's name of this. I'm pretty far into this. I started that on audio. I was listening to it for the most part most of the day while I was at work. I'm pretty well enjoying this. This girl is with her dad, but she was primarily living with her mom most of her life, and I guess she's just with him to get his money. I don't know, that bit was unclear, but basically she's with her dad, who doesn't really care for her, and she doesn't really care for him, and she's being forced to work at this like factory that he owns. And while there, she meets this guy who turns out to be her supervisor, and she kind of starts like a relationship with him, but then he's got this roommate that's really like grumpy, but they also have kind of an attraction toward each other. So I've heard this series is, I believe, a love triangle. I don't know that she ends up with both of them, even though it just got to a part in the book where they do have a group sex scene. Was not expecting that. I just heard that the love triangle thing. I didn't realize there was group stuff, and boy oh boy was that really, really hot. Was not expecting that. I didn't realize that this book was that steamy. So that's pretty cool, but I think I've got maybe like 2 hours left of this book on audio. I'm not really feeling so far like this book is gonna wreck me, although that's all I hear about is that it like tears your heart out. But I don't know if that's specifically just this book or just like the series. Like, it may end up being like the second book or the third book that I read that I'm like gut wrenched sobbing because it's like tearing me to pieces kind of thing. So there's the 2 guys. Sean is one of them. That he's her supervisor. Him I'm kind of like meh on. He's very like free spirited and go with the flow, very like philosophical, kind of outdoorsy kind of guy, and him I'm just kind of like meh on. But then the other guy, Dominic, I think is his name. He's very like asshole, grumpy. Him I'm very much intrigued by, and I want to learn more about him. I'm kind of feeling like he's gonna be the one that I'm like rooting for if this is like love triangle-y, because you know I gotta pick a ship. I feel like that's the guy that I'm gonna end up kind of leaning towards. I don't know, we'll see. And then I just kind of like her in general because she's just kind of like trying to figure stuff out, and she like keeps talking about how she wants this like epic, like passionate love, and I'm just like so here for it. I'm like, yes girl, like I agree, like get that. So really enjoying that one so far, and we'll see how things go from there. Hopefully, I think I should be able to maybe get that audiobook done tomorrow, or at least most of the way done, and I might be able to finish this vlog out, like finish all these books tomorrow. That would be awesome. That's kind of maybe my goal, but again, we'll see how the rest of tonight goes. Hey everyone, coming on here with an update. I'm gonna try to be kind of quiet. I'm trying to get my kids to sleep. It is the end of the day Saturday, and after I film this little bit update, I'm gonna be heading to bed myself. So I just finished the books that were my goal that I was trying to finish. I finished Flock on audiobook earlier this morning because I did have to work today, which sucked, and I have to work again tomorrow, so this video may end up going up a little bit late. I'm gonna try my best to get it up tomorrow on time, but I did finish Flock. I honestly don't really see what the hype is for this book. I gave it 3 stars. It was okay. There was definitely like kind of a love triangle. It was more of a MFM storyline because there's 2 guys. It's the guy and his roommate that are both interested in her, that she starts to form a relationship with and like falls in love with, although to me it wasn't very believable. I just kept getting really irritated with both of these guys because they're being like major jerks to her, and they're being very secretive with her. They don't always like tell her the truth. They aren't honest with her. They lie to her, and she still just kind of goes along with it. And then they're also very pretentious, and I just got really over that really quickly. But I mean, like when some of the steamy scenes, like they were all right, like they're not bad. I just feel like I've read, like this isn't like a new to me kind of concept, like the whole sharing is in like the romance that I read, so I was just very underwhelmed. But I am like intrigued enough because everybody just loves this trilogy like so freaking much. So I did go ahead and start the next book, Exodus, which I'm not gonna really talk too much about in this vlog because I'm kind of wrapping it up, but when you watch my mid-month wrap up, it will definitely feature in there, just because I want to see if maybe the first book was just kind of meh and things pick up a little bit in the second one. Spoiler, it kind of hasn't, but so yeah, so I gave this one 3 stars. It was just kind of meh. I don't really see the point, like why everybody hypes this book up so much. Then I literally just like 10 minutes ago, well maybe it was a little bit before that because then I had to put my kids to bed, but I did finish The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I think the last time I kind of updated on this one, I had literally just started it, but it's about this guy and his brothers. His grandfather is basically like Walt Disney. Like this whole book is like very, very Walt Disney World theme park kind of thing. They just don't call it that, but that's basically what it is. His grandfather passed away, so he has a will and like inheritance and blah blah blah. In order to do that, they have like, he gave letters to his grandsons and his son, and they have all these like tasks that they're supposed to complete. So our main character, his task is to become the director at the Disney World place, and to see what the weaknesses are and to try to change things for the better and make a proposal to like the board, blah blah blah. So in doing that, he meets this girl who's very quirky. He doesn't really like her at first, but he just is like very fascinated by her. She's very much a sunshine kind of character. He's very much a grumpy kind of character, and realizes that she has some really great ideas for the park. So he ends up somewhat kind of partnering with her to come up with some good ideas for the park. I like this. I haven't put in Goodreads yet, but I think I'm going to give this 4 stars. This is pretty enjoyable. I wouldn't say this is like the best book I've ever read, but it was, like I said, enjoyable. Very, very classic grumpy sunshine tropes. So if you're into that, this is probably a good book to pick up. Steam on this, I would say, is like medium high to high, somewhere around there. There or some stuff in it that like I'm kind of like not a big fan of, like the whole 3rd act breakup kind of thing. I'm just over that, and I just kind of wish authors would stop doing that to bring like conflict into the story, but that's more of like a me thing. And I did really like, there was a lot of talk about inclusivity in this book with more like disabled persons and people from other like backgrounds. So I did kind of like that aspect of this book, but yeah, so I'm giving this one 4 stars. And yeah, I think that's gonna be the last book that I read for this vlog, and I think tomorrow before I upload this, I'm gonna try to do like some sort of like really quick like review outro thing. Okay, so just doing a really quick outro for this video. I'm pretty happy that I was able to read 5 books this week, and the majority of these books were pretty long, so again, pretty proud of myself. But y'all, why are these books popular? Like, most of these books sucked. I don't really understand. I guess that kind of shows that I just don't always agree with popular opinions. But yeah, like the only ones that I kind of liked were the fine print and the words, but even then they weren't like 5-star like standout books to me. Otherwise the rest of these were just like meh, or in the case of like Say You Swear, I hated them. Like, these were terrible. Why do you all like these books? There's so many other books out there that are way better, that deserve so much more hype than what these books get. So that'll be the end of this video. If you like this, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below what you think of these books, and if I should try another vlog with some other like hyped books, or just in general what kind of hyped books I should try. Let me know. Otherwise, I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.